The first Lego movie was just... I was shocked at how good it was. It was a good movie. The second Lego movie, 5 years in the making, is a good kids movie. And therein lies my problem. So Lego Movie 2 starts out in the Lego world that we've seen before, which is now very Mad Maxy, basically. They're like, living on the edge. The sisters' Legos have come and like either destroyed a lot of things or taken a lot of things. It's not really made clear, but I mean, we can assume that this is what's happened over the years. And then they are also always talking about I don't remember what they call it. But anyway, it's like a mom. The mom will come and take the Legos and make them put them away and stuff, and that's like their biggest fear. So anyway, one day the Legos, this visitor comes, which is obviously like one of the Duplo more girly toys that they have. Girly, that's offensive. Anyway, they make it purple and yellow, you can assume. And they come and take some of the people with them, and they're going on, and then so Emmett's left going, oh no, this is terrible, I need to get them back. And then Emmett meets, what was it, Rex, was that his name? I think it was Rex, who is also voiced by Chris Pratt, does a really good job, and that essentially is like, we turn out it's like Emmett's alter ego. And they have some adventures. Emmett thinks he's doing the right thing, turns out he's doing the wrong thing, and that this world that they took him to isn't bad at all. And it's really just the sister wanting to get along with brother and make brother happy because, she looks up to him, he's older, and he's kind of being a jerk. And I totally got that. Like, I understood. My sister and I never liked the same toys, so we never had this problem. Like, she was into Barbies and stuff, and I was into Ninja Turtles, and I never was like, oh, you can't take my Ninja Turtle, because she never wanted it, and she never had to say, you can't use my Barbie. Well, of course I'm not going to use your Barbie. Why would I? So I wasn't able to relate as well to the ordeal in this film. Some people that obviously went through that childhood stuff like that have said, oh, it was good, it got me a little teared up. I never got even close to teared up in this movie. There was no reason to, really. Like, they had to put the Legos away, and then they took them out because they love each other and love Legos. And that's already more of a commercial than the first one was. Yeah. Guys, this movie was okay. It was a great kids movie. I'm not a kid anymore, and I don't have kids at the moment. So for me, this movie was fine, but it was not as good of a sequel as the Lego Movie 2 could have been, especially when you have 5 years to put it together. I mean, you had 5 years to make this film perfect, and you didn't really. I mean, you took out a lot of the pop culture references, which I'll admit is something that I was very partial to in the first one. They're hardly in this one, which isn't bad. You also got rid of a lot of the side characters, like the rainbow unicorn, whatever his name was, Metalbeard, things like that. They're in this, but they're not really in this. They have, like, 2 scenes, little side stuff. They have absolutely no conflict at all. I mean, there's no depth to these characters. You introduce a new alien character, it's supposed to be like an alien thing, who I thought was going to go somewhere and like have a cool story and stuff, but no. What was her point? Besides to get them from the basement to the sister's room, what purpose did she serve in this movie? I really want to know. Like, why did she need to be in it as someone who seemed like they're going to be a character? She has entire movie posters. The main poster, like, has her as a dominant figure. There's no point in that character. Get rid of her. Why couldn't you have had the main Transformery character who we see so much, or the banana character who is in, like, scenes as a comic relief just to trip over his peel? I don't even know what his purpose was either. Why couldn't you have had them be the ones to transport them or something? Like, give them more to do. Let us see them a little more. That was my whole issue. There's just... again, guys, if I was a kid and this was the first Lego movie, I would have liked it a lot more. I'm not a kid, and this wasn't the first Lego movie, and I probably went in thinking it was going to be... I went in with too high of expectations, probably. It's my own fault. But if your first movie is perfect to me, shouldn't I expect the sequel to at least be very, very close to perfection? But it's not. I'm not saying it's bad. That's the problem with this whole review, is that I know I'm sounding like it was a bad movie, and it wasn't bad. It isn't bad, and you should go see it, because I want them to keep making these movies. I enjoy them. That said, I personally am disappointed in the film at elements of it, not even the whole thing. Everyone does a great job. Chris Pratt does a fantastic job voicing two characters, and they do such a funny job with that. And then one thing that annoyed me, and I'm going to go on a rant about this here, and people will be like, Chad, it was a kid's movie, and you're right, it was. And I'm not supposed to think this much into it. But in the first movie, the Lego movie, Emmett is taken up into the real world, and we're shown for the first time that there is a real world, right? And he's set down, and then all of a sudden it's revealed to us that everything that we've seen happen in the Lego movie was like the kid playing, like I'm making this up, right? He made all of this stuff up, and now Emmett is in there, and he's realizing, no, he's not realizing it, we're realizing it as an audience, but he still has a mindset, and he's trying to move and escape, which means that Legos can similarly kind of still function on their own in the real world, in this world that the Lego movie has defined. Great. I loved that. I thought it was wonderful. And it explains the entire thing of how it worked. It's just a kid's mind. We're just seeing inside a kid's mind. Lego Movie 2 has a part to do with an alter ego of a character and time travel. And here's my whole problem with that. That alter ego of the character tells a story that takes place in the real world. And so if it's the brother making up this character, the brother is inventing a real world story, and he is imagining himself in the third person being a bad guy, ignoring this Lego. He's making up that backstory. He's a bad person, which kids don't tend to do. And then he's taking it and saying that was Emmett. Well, the problem is that Emmett's also in that scene. Oh, and then he time traveled back after a few days to help Emmett. So, either brother got mad at Emmett for being so good, or he wanted to make another Emmett or something, and so he did, and then he gave him this tragic backstory and decided to help him convince his other Emmett, to be bad too and trick him into it. Or this just doesn't make sense in your world that you've created. It just doesn't work. You can't bring a real world element into the story. If that was the Lego character telling some fantastical story, I would believe it. But that's not what happens in this movie. This story takes place in the real world, so we can assume that this did happen, given all the evidence prior to us of the real world. Am I wrong? As far as I know, everything we've seen in the real world in the Lego movie to this point has taken place in the real world. Everything in the Lego world, well, that's fine. That's up for interpretation. But you just had a Lego story take place in the real world, which throws it off. That, for me, threw things off. You also have Emmett get rescued from under the same place that Rex had issues that he got lost before. So, does that mean that the Legos found him under there, or the kid found him under there? I don't know. I don't know. But my problem is that I'm thinking so much about this, but I shouldn't have to. It should be so obvious to me that wouldn't have affected anything. But for me, that's bad world building. You're coming up with these rules, and then you're kind of changing them or breaking them. You're either making it so complex that you could have a large debate like this about it, or you're just being lazy and saying, dude, it's a Lego movie, let it go. And I should let it go, honestly, I should. But I shouldn't have this qualm to begin with. You should be better than that. You should know better than that. Whatever. Again, that's not a huge deal. It's not. But, and then I was debating with a friend about it, and they're like, well, this is all brother planning out how to get back at sister. And I'm like, the brother in this movie, he's like 11 or 12, right? I mean, he's not like a young kid. When I was 11 or 12, if my sister took all my toys, I'm not going to come up with a character in my mind and make him convince another character that I love and then create a spaceship so that we can go back and steal these things. Unless I'm already playing a game with my sister. If she just steals my stuff, I'm going in there, wrecking her stuff, and taking them back because I'm 12. I'm going to edit that out. I'm not going to include that in. But, I mean, that's what happens. Anyway, this does not happen at this age. It doesn't happen. So, explain to me... You can't explain to me how this works. I mean, the best explanation I got was he did it because the script asked him to. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's not a mistake. That doesn't mean it doesn't explain that it makes sense. That just explains that the movie has some lazy storytelling and world building. And those elements really bothered me. They shouldn't have bothered me so much, but they did. And let me calm down a little. Overall, Lego Movie is a fun time, and if I was a kid, I would have loved it even more. It creates new worlds, it has new emotions in it. It wasn't quite as moving as the first one. It gives you, this song's going to be stuck inside your head, which I thought was a fantastic song. And it develops our characters a little further, and I enjoyed that. Overall, I'm going to give the Lego Movie a B-. It could have been good. It could have been really good. You had 5 years. And we got this, which is a good kids movie. And I can't say much more about it than that. Yeah. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to have quite a few videos coming out soon. Busy with seeing things. I've got How to Train Your Dragon 3 screening tomorrow. As of whenever hopefully I post this tonight. And so I'll be doing a review on that. I've got a review on The Favorite I want to get out, and I'm going to do a reaction to the Aladdin teaser. So lots to come. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys.